Hi learners, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn on dividing decimals in general. And basically what that means is that we are going to find how many times the divisor fits into the dividend. And we will be using two cases. The first case, we are going to divide decimals by whole numbers, which I've made a video on that. The link is in the description below. Click on it and watch the full detailed lesson. And then in the second case, we are going to divide decimal by decimal. And then one key thing you need to understand is that in dividing decimals, the decimal point in the answer or the quotient must align correctly. With that said, let's dive in to look at some examples. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I will encourage you to subscribe, hit the notification bell for more math lessons. All right, so let's look at example number 1 under case 1. In case 1, as I said, we'll be looking at dividing decimals by whole numbers. So the first example is divide 2.5 by 2. So in doing this, the first thing to do is to make the decimal a whole number. And in doing this, what you need to do is to stand in the middle or on the decimal point and move the decimal point to the right. So you move it 1. Remember, as you move it to the right, in your final answer, you're going to move it backward to where you pick it. So moving the decimal point to this place gives us what? 25 divided by 2. And in dividing decimals, I will encourage you to put a decimal point attached to the whole number and add zeros. Remember, adding zeros does not change the values of the digit. So you have 25.00. You can add many zeros to it as you want, but it doesn't change the value. Then you write divide by 2. Then the next point is use the long division method. So always in dividing decimals by whole number, you have to use the long division method in order to arrive at the correct answer. So we set up our long division problem. You write the 25 inside and then write the 2 outside. So you ask yourself, 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 times 1 give us 2. Subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. Remember, here is 25.00. Then you bring down your 5 to the 0. 2 goes into 5. 2 times 2, 4. Subtract. 5 minus 4, 1. Then because there's a decimal point, you put your decimal point. You bring down what? Your 0 to the 1, giving you what? 10. 2 goes into 10, goes in 5 times. 2 times 5, 10. Subtract, we have 0. So when you get 0 as your remainder, it tells you that you are done with your long division. So your answer to the long division is 12.5. But remember that you move the decimal point 1 time to the right. So you bring it back to where you pick it. Stand here, you move it 1 time backwards to this place. So this gives us what? 1.25. Therefore, 2.5 divided by 2, the answer is what? 1.25. I hope that is clear. All right, so let's move on to case number 2. If you want detailed lesson on this, please, the link is in the description below. Click on it and watch that. All right, so in the case number 2, we are going to look at how to divide decimals by decimals. Decimals by decimals. All right. So in writing decimals by decimals, there are some key rules that we need to understand, or there are some steps that we must follow in order to arrive at the correct answer. All right. So the first step we need to take is to make the divisor a whole number. And by doing that, we move the decimal to the right. So if you have 2.5 divided by 5, this is the dividend. This is the, 2.5 divided by 5.2. This is the dividend. This is the divisor. So they said the first thing is make the divisor a whole number. And by doing that, you move the decimal to the right. So you stand here, you move it to the right, giving you what? The divisor here to be 52. I hope that is clear. And then the second is move the dividend decimal the number of places as you move what? The divisor. So here the dividend is 2.5. Since you move this place 1 to the right, you have to do same to this place as well. So 2.5, you move it 1 time to the right, giving you what? 25. So the whole division problem will now be 25 divided by what? 52. I hope that is clear. Then finally, you use what? The long division, as we have done in the previous example. You now use your long division where you have your 25 inside, which is the dividend, and then the divisor, which is 52 outside. I hope that is clear. All right. With these rules and steps in mind, let's look at some examples under this case. All right, so let's look at example number 1. Example number 1. All right. So example number 1, we are to divide 0.6 by 0.2. So the first step is to move the decimal in the divisor 1 place because it has 1 decimal place. And this is the divisor. So the divisor will give us what? 0. So you move the decimal, you stand here, you move it toward the right. So this gives us what? 2 divided by, and the second step is to move the decimal, the dividend, the same number of times. So this one, you stand here, you move it 1 time because you move here only once. So you do same to this place, giving you what? 6. So after that, you now use what? Your long division method to arrive at the answer. So you do, or you set it up, the dividend, which is now 6, put it in here, and then the divisor, which is now 2, put it outside. 2 goes into 6, 3 times 2 times 3, 6. Subtract 6 from 6 gives you what? 0. Because we get 0 as our remainder, our final answer is 3. I hope that is clear. And this is the final answer. Therefore, 0.6 divided by 0.2, the answer is what? 3. I hope that is clear. All right, so let's look at our next example. Our next example. So example number 2, we are to divide 1.44 by 0.12. All right, so the first thing is what? To move the decimal point to the right to make the divisor a whole number. So this time round, it is 2 decimal places. So we are going to move for 2 times. So you stand here, you move 1 and then 2. So which gives us what? 12. And then you bring your division sign. Then here, because you moved here twice, you're going to do the same thing to the dividend as well. So you stand here, you move 1, 2, giving us what? 144. So we now move to the next step, which is using the long division method. So we have 144 in the symbol and then 12 outside. So how many times 12 goes into 14? It goes in 1 time. 12 times 12 times 1 is 12. Subtract 14 minus 12, 2. Then you bring down what? Your 4, giving you what? 24. 12 goes into 24 2 times. 12 times 2, 24. Subtract, you get 0. Because we have 0 as our remainder, we have 12 as our answer. And therefore 1.44 divided by 0.12, the answer is what? 12. I hope that is clear as well. All right, so let's move a step further to look at another example. All right, so our next example, we are going to divide 3.06 by 0.3. So remember, the divisor here is only one decimal place. The dividend is what? Two decimal places. So the first thing is to make the divisor whole. What you're going to do is to stand here, move it to the right. You move it one time, giving you what? 3. Remember, the number of times you move the divisor, you do same to the dividend as well. So you stand here, you move it how many times? Once. Remember, you move the divisor once. So you have to move the dividend also what? Once. This gives us what? 30.6. Then the next thing to do is to use your long division method. We have 30.6 inside, and then we have your 3 outside. So then you do your long division. So now 3 goes into 30 how many times? 10 times. 3 times 10 is 30. Subtract, this gives you a 0. Then you bring your point, and then you drop down your 6 and add it to the 0, giving you 6. 3 goes into what? 6. 2 times. 3 times 6. Sorry, 3 times 2. We have 6. Subtract, you get 0. Because we have 0 as our remainder, our final answer is what? 10.2. Therefore, 3.06 divided by 0.3 gives us what? 10.2. I hope that is clear. All right. So it is your time to pause the video, then stop this final example. And you come back to confirm if your answer is correct. So try. Divide 4.8 by 0.4. So you can pause the video and then come back to solve it. Oh, sorry, come back to check if your answer is correct. So the first thing is to what? Convert the divisor to a whole number. And by doing that, you stand on the decimal point, move to the right. So in this place, it has only what? One decimal place value. So you move only once, giving you what? 4. And then you bring your division sign, and you move the same number of times. You move here once, move here once as well, giving you what? 48. So we have 48 divided by what? 4. After getting that, set up what? Your long division problem. So we have 48, we have 4. 4 goes into 4, 1 time, 4 times 1, 4. Then you subtract, giving you 0, drop down your 8. 4 goes into 8, 2 times, 4 times 2, 8. Subtract, you get 0. Because we have 0 as our remainder, our final answer is what? 12. Therefore, 4.8 divided by what? 0.4 gives us what? 12 as our final answer. I hope that is clear. Learners, today we learn how to divide decimals. And then we learn 2 cases. Case 1, we divide decimals by whole number using the long division method, which the video is in the description below. You should click on it and watch the full detailed lesson. And then in the case 2, we have dividing decimals by decimals, where we convert the divisor to the whole number and also move the dividend decimal the same number of what? Places. We also look at the place value of the decimal of the answer or the quotient should be, aligned correctly. Okay? And then remember to place the decimal point or the decimals in the quotient under each values or under each decimal place value. And then we also learn how to bring down dig it one by one to arrive at our answer. And then we're able to add zeros if needed to get our answer correct. If this lesson has really, or if this video has really helped you, I encourage you to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button for more math lessons. And until next time, or until we meet again, please keep practicing so that you become a master when it comes to dividing decimals. God bless you. Bye bye.